Hi everyone, in this tutorial we're going to be working with GreenScreen in After Effects. First of all, I'm going to go into After Effects, into my project tab, and double click in here, and I'm going to load my footages. First of all, I'm going to load my GreenScreen movie. So open, and there it is. Second, I'm going to load my other movie, which is going to be my background, and this movie is just rendered from 3D application into sequences. Okay, so I'm gonna load a sequence, so select one of those images and make sure this sequence checkbox is on. So open, and now I'm gonna load all the sequence, which is 150 frames. Third, I'm gonna load my logo, and last thing, I'm gonna load a Photoshop file. In this case, I'm going to create my Photoshop file again. It's just a small banner. So I'm going to open Photoshop, File, New. Okay. In this case, I'm working with PAL D1 DV format. If I want to make sure, this is my background, and I can see here 720 by 576, and it's 1.09 pixel ratio. So I can go in here, make sure this is PAL D1 DV. I can just check them from here. There's this format and there's the square pixel format, which is 1. So I need this format to be selected, okay, which is a 1.09, same format. So I open this file. Now I'm gonna create a small rounded rectangle in here. So click and drag, let's say this size, and I'm gonna decide my color. Let's say this suits me perfectly, and whatever artwork I need to create, I can do this. After that, I just can File, Save As, and I'm gonna save it in here as my banner. After I save this, I can now load it into After Effects. Double click in here, I can load my Photoshop file, which is my banner, open, and now it's gonna ask me this question. My import kind, it's gonna be a footage or a composition. In my case, I need a composition, and I'm gonna retain my layer size. So what it's gonna do, what's happened in Photoshop, the layers and the sizes, it's gonna keep them the same. So I need this case. Another thing, I need them to be editable in case I want to change my layers, or just gonna merge them together into one footage. So in this case, I'm gonna keep them. Maybe I'm gonna use them later on. So okay, and you can see in here I have my banner layers, which is my blue banner and my black banner, or my transparent, and then I have my composition. So first of all, I'm just going to create my composition based on this background. So click and drag, put it in here, and now I created my banner. Okay, actually, sorry, I created my background, and now I can just import everything I need in here. So I'm going to import this banner composition inside my other composition, which is the background. And as you can see, I can double click on this banner, I open a new banner, a new composition, and I can edit my composition in here, and it will automatically be adjusted in here. We're gonna check this later on. So this is gonna be it. I'm gonna put my banner composition over, so that's gonna be my thing. I just wanna make sure I'm gonna fit to screen to make sure I'm not cropping any pixels. And this is my banner. And then I'm gonna just import my footage, which is my green screen footage, and then I'm gonna import my logo, and then I'm gonna also create a new text, and I'm gonna write, let's say, my name. I'm gonna write my name, and there it is. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna hide everything now, and just gonna keep my banner. So make sure that fits perfectly in here. So I think it's perfect in here. And then I'm gonna add my logo. It's gonna be a bit huge. It's not a big deal. Just gonna scale it up. Actually, scale it down. So click, and I'm gonna press Shift while scaling down to maintain proportions. And I'm gonna make sure my logo comes in here. Okay. Definitely I can just change always the colors and things, so maybe this is it. Okay, let's say I'm gonna make it maybe something in here. Okay, I don't know. I just don't want it to be fit inside. And that's my name, and just gonna make it a bit larger. So wherever. So it's perfect now. And now all I'm gonna do, I did my logos, and I wanna go to my podcast, which is my green screen format, and I'm gonna just have to take off my green screen from here. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm just gonna add a layer, an effect. I can go into effects, keying, and I'm gonna use a key light effect, or just go into the effect layer in here and just use key light, and you find it in here. So either ways, it's the same. Make sure you post it on this layer, which is my green screen. First of all, in my green screen, I need to pick my color. So I'm just gonna pick my color, and that's gonna be my green color. And as you see, if you can see, it's really easy. I'm gonna hide all the layers to make sure everything is clear. And in here, I picked my color, so everything almost done. I'm just gonna here go, instead of final result, I'm gonna go to my screen mat. You can see my black and white mask. Okay, so everything black is gonna be cropped up, and everything white is gonna remade. So I'm gonna just fix this so I won't have some kind of green blotches in here. So just go to the open tab, this green screen or matte green screen mat, and I'm gonna clip my blacks. You can see I'm clipping my blacks a bit. Let's say something like this, maybe 15 should be good. And clip my white. You can see I have a bit of blacks in here, so I'm gonna clip my white so until it's perfectly in here. So maybe let's say 60 should be perfect. Now I think it's perfect now, and then go back to my final result. This is it. Now I'm gonna turn on all my layers back, and I'm gonna move this, scale it down, and I'm gonna put it in here, something like that. Maybe scale it up a bit, and it's gonna be here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna also create a new text, and that's my text in here. I'm gonna write, let's say, next. So this is gonna be in here, and I'm gonna scale it up, and I'm gonna make it, let's say, black. Okay, I can just do it in Photoshop if I want. I want to change my font into, I don't know, something like bulky a bit. Let's say next in here, and that's it. Okay, so that's gonna be my animation. So now in here, I need my movie to start. So I'm gonna just check up my movie. So that's gonna be my movie. I'm gonna make my movie start, and then my banner is gonna pop up, and the character is gonna move, and then it's gonna show up next before this finishes, and then it will fade up before this commercial ends. Okay, so now I'm just gonna start in here. Let's say on second one, I'm gonna start my banner. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna draw my banner. I'm gonna go into my banner in here, and I can animate my banner all over from here, from the transforms. Let's say I'm gonna scale it up. If I do scale, I can scale in this position in X and Y. What I want, change my anchor point. So change the anchor point from here, and then I'm gonna move my anchor point to this location. I need to scale it up from this side. And then I want to make sure my opacity is, it's gonna be 0, but I'm gonna leave it now. So this is gonna be it. My anchor point is here. So now scale. I'm gonna scale it up, and let's say just this axis. Okay, as you can see. So I'm gonna put it in here, 0. Sorry, in here, 0. And I'm gonna start my animation from here. I'm gonna key at the first second, and after 1 second, I'm gonna have this animation grow up until it's done. Second, I'm gonna do another animation in here. I'm gonna have my opacity to be 0, and while growing up, I need my opacity to finish not at 100, maybe at 60. So I just need it to be a bit transparent. So it's gonna go like this. I think maybe more than 60 should be better, maybe 80. Okay, so this is my first animation. Then after that, okay, maybe something in here before my second finishes, I'm gonna animate my logo. So I'm gonna pop up my logo, and my logo is gonna be a simple animation just on opacity. On this, it's gonna be 0. I'm gonna animate this, key it, and then add second, maybe a bit more than 2. It's gonna be 100% or maybe 90%. So that's it. So it's gonna go like this, like this. And the same thing goes for the name or the title in here. It's gonna start something maybe from here. Okay, I'm just gonna close this and close this. I'm gonna open my name. Same thing, I'm gonna go in here and make sure on my opacity I'm just gonna make 0, my starting point from here, and then it's gonna animate this till the end. Let's say 100%. Okay, just want to make it visible, so that's it. Okay, I can definitely animate my character also to be animated. I'm gonna use this on my next, so you can do the same in here to do my text. So that's it. And then the last thing is gonna be, it's gonna show next, and that's gonna be somewhere in here to start. I'm gonna use my next tab, and this next I'm gonna use different types of animation. So I'm gonna select my next layer. Okay, I'm just gonna go animation, and I'm gonna go browse presets. So I'm gonna open actually bridge. I'm gonna go into my animation tab. I'm gonna go into text animation presets. I'm gonna use something from these animation. You can check them out. They have like good ones. Okay, maybe that fits what suits you better. So I'm gonna use something a bit simple. Maybe something like this. I think that's good. That's the preview of that. So I'm gonna double click on that, and that's gonna be my animation. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I think my animation is too slow. It's not a big deal. I'm just gonna open my next tab and go to the text, and these are my keys. So it's gonna start in here and move. Okay, I'm just gonna make it start a bit earlier, so I can just select all my keys. Okay, I'm not sure if I can select them. Yes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna press U to open all my animation tabs or keys. So I'm gonna select them, these keys, and just gonna move them and shift to snap them in here. So my animation is gonna start in here. So what I want, I'm just gonna make it a bit faster, and so it's gonna finish earlier. So that's it. Okay, perfect. So that's gonna be it. And now I can close my next tab, and perfect. And now it's gonna, I'm gonna have my character to be inside, in here. I'm gonna show it. So it's gonna be something from here. Just wanna make sure it's gonna be something from here, and then it's gonna fade up. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, select this layer, I'm gonna go into my opacity, same thing. I'm just gonna make sure my opacity is gonna start from 0, and key. It's gonna take maybe a bit, something like that, less than a second. It's gonna be 100, and then I can just fade it up. I can just take my keys in here, or just use another key in here, it's gonna be in here 0 again. Okay, but definitely I need something, a key from here. It's gonna say it's gonna be 100. So what's gonna happen, it's gonna be 0 then 100 and gonna remain 100 till here and then go back to 0. So what happened is the following. I'm gonna check up. Okay, so what happened, actually I just faded up my green screens in the shot, but I need to fade up everything else same time, or maybe just after each other. So I can fade my character, and then I'm gonna fade my text, my text and my logo, and then my banner is gonna go inside the same type or the same animation that happens before. So I'm gonna open my text. So I'm gonna key my text. So this is gonna end up somewhere here. So I'm gonna put a key in here, 0, and maybe from here it's gonna be 100. So this is my text. It's gonna fade. Same thing, gonna fade my next. I'm gonna make it fade this time. So I'm gonna use my transform in here. So yes, something in here. So I'm gonna fade it from 100 up to 0. So now my text disappears, and then next, and then my logo is gonna disappear one by one. And what I'm doing, actually I'm not making them disappear at the same time. So what I'm gonna do, just gonna make sure this is gonna be disappearing from here. That's gonna be 0, and I'm gonna go a bit back where I can see a bit of next, and just make sure this is gonna be 90. So that's gonna be start from here, go into 90%, and then go back from 90% to 0. And then from here, just gonna select now my last thing, which is my banner, and I'm gonna make sure it's gonna go back from 80, okay, which is gonna be here, and I'm gonna make sure my scale goes back down. So first of all, I'm just gonna make sure my banner goes up in here, back to 0, but I'm gonna make it start in here. So that's gonna be 100%. So from here, it's gonna go back. And the same thing I want to do is for the animation of the opacity. So in here, it's gonna be 0%, and from here it's gonna be 80%. And I think that's it. So what I did is this nice animation. So I can play it. So this background is going on, my footage come in and then disappears with the background or wherever. That's it. Thank you for listening and have a good day.